Hey guys, gasoline prices in Indonesia are currently experiencing a significant increase, putting a strain on your wallet. Pertamax, which used to be 12,300 rupiah per liter, has now increased to 16,250 rupiah per liter. This increase will definitely have a direct impact on people's daily transportation costs. But have you ever thought, guys, whether the price of gasoline in Indonesia is cheap or expensive compared to other countries? Well, it turns out there are many countries in the world where gasoline prices are much lower than in Indonesia. In fact, there are countries where the price is only around 400 rupiah per liter. The reasons are varied, ranging from abundant oil reserves to very large government subsidy policies. The following is a list of countries with the cheapest gasoline prices in the world. In the first place, we have Libya, guys. Libya ranks first among countries with the cheapest gasoline prices in the world. Even more surprisingly, a liter of gasoline in Libya costs only about 0.024 USD or roughly 400 rupiah per liter. Gasoline in Libya is so cheap that it's even cheaper than a bottle of mineral water. Just imagine, guys, 20 liters of gasoline in Libya costs less than 8,000 Indonesian rupiah. The main reason fuel is so incredibly cheap is the country's massive oil reserves. Libya has the largest oil reserves in Africa and one of the largest in the world. On top of that, the Libyan government heavily subsidizes fuel as a way of distributing the country's oil wealth among its citizens. Unfortunately, these massive subsidies have created a new problem. The extremely low fuel prices have led to widespread fuel smuggling along Libya's borders. Next up is Iran, which ranks as the country with the second cheapest fuel prices in the world, guys. Gasoline in Iran costs only about 0.029 US dollars, or roughly 480 Indonesian rupiah per liter, making it just as cheap as in Libya. What's unique about Iran's fuel system is that it uses a fuel ration card, guys. Every Iranian citizen receives an allocation of 60 liters of subsidized gasoline each month. If they exceed that quota, the price of gasoline increases quite significantly. Iran even introduced a new gasoline pricing tier in late 2025. This change is the biggest since 2019, when subsidized fuel prices increased by 50%. This policy also sparked major protests in several cities in Iran. The extremely low fuel prices are largely due to the fact that Iran is one of the world's largest oil producers, ranking fourth globally. However, years of international sanctions imposed on Iran have made their oil refinery infrastructure less than optimal. Even so, the Iranian government still prioritizes fuel subsidies to maintain its citizens' economy. Next is Venezuela, which is one of the countries with the largest oil reserves in the world, guys. Venezuela ranks third, with gasoline priced at around 0.035 US dollars, or approximately 580 Indonesian rupiah per liter. Interestingly, despite its vast oil wealth, Venezuela has actually faced fuel shortages because its oil refining capacity has declined dramatically over the past decade. Fuel subsidies in Venezuela have actually been in place for decades. However, this policy has actually burdened the country's finances and become one of the triggers for the prolonged economic crisis. And even though gasoline is extremely cheap there, its availability has become very limited. To get gasoline, people have to wait in line at gas stations for hours or even days. Coming in fourth is Angola, a country in southern Africa that is also one of the world's largest oil producers, guys. Gasoline in Angola costs around $0.327 or approximately 5,400 Indonesian rupiah per liter. The low price of gasoline here is largely because Angola is Africa's second largest oil producer after Nigeria. In fact, its oil revenue is the main source of income and foreign exchange for the country. In addition, the low price of gasoline here is due to the government's role in providing large-scale fuel subsidies. Fuel subsidies in this country take up most of the state budget. However, even so, until now, the Angolan government still maintains these subsidies in order to preserve purchasing power and help its people's economy. Coming in fifth is Malaysia, guys, our neighboring country and a fellow member of ASEAN. The price of RON 95 gasoline in Malaysia for its citizens is just 1.99 Malaysian ringgit or about 7,400 Indonesian rupiah per liter through the Budi 95 program. What makes it interesting is that this price only applies to Malaysian citizens, guys. Meanwhile, foreigners or drivers of foreign-registered vehicles refueling in Malaysia have to pay the non-subsidized price, which is 3.72 Malaysian ringgit, or about 13,800 Indonesian rupiah per liter. The reason why gasoline in Malaysia can be cheaper is that Malaysia is both a producer and an exporter of oil, guys. Malaysia's national oil company, Petronas, is one of the country's biggest sources of income. Now, this oil revenue is what the government uses to subsidize fuel for the people of Malaysia. In sixth place is Japan, guys, a country that might surprise you for being on this list. Gasoline in Japan costs around 170 yen, or approximately 17,600 Indonesian rupiah per liter, making it more expensive than in Indonesia. But wait a second, guys. Even though gasoline costs around 17,600 Indonesian rupiah per liter, Japan's nationwide average minimum wage is about 1,118 yen per hour. That works out to a monthly salary of around 19.1 million Indonesian rupiah. Now compare that to Indonesia, where the regional minimum wage ranges from around 2 million to 6 million Indonesian rupiah, yet people have to buy gasoline at nearly the same price as in Japan. Apart from that, although the price of gasoline in Japan is slightly more expensive than in Indonesia, in nominal terms, the purchasing power of the Japanese people is much higher. Japan itself is not an oil-producing country and has to import almost all of its oil needs. Due to high wages, Japanese people can still afford gasoline despite its high price. Next is Egypt, the Arab world's most populous country and among the world's oldest civilizations. The price of gasoline in Egypt is quite affordable, at around $0.464 or approximately 7,700 Indonesian rupiah per liter. Even though it is not a major oil-producing country like the Gulf countries, the Egyptian government still provides fuel subsidies to the people. Energy subsidies in Egypt are one of the government's largest budget expenditures. In fact, Egypt once spent as much as 20% of its national budget on energy subsidies. Actually, guys, since 2014, Egypt has raised fuel prices several times to reduce the burden on the national budget. However, gasoline in Egypt is still about twice as cheap as it is in Indonesia. Those are the 10 countries with the cheapest gasoline prices in the world. We hope you found this information helpful, and we'll see you in our next exciting video.